welcome to this Spotlight on Sibos 2019 in partnership with Swift in association with Google and KPMG. This year, Sibos takes place in London for the first time ever, a world-leading financial centre of course, but also notable as a hub for financial technology and innovation. The theme of this year's conference is Thriving in a Hyper-Connected World, with the aim of exploring the challenges and the opportunities that mass digitization and big data can bring to financial services. All players will be impacted, from big global banks to challengers, and from fintech players to the big tech companies. They all need to carve out a strategy to help them enhance customer experience, lower costs, keep them compliant with all the regulation, and safe from some of the newer hazards such as cyber attacks. To help get an idea of all the various issues that will be discussed at Sibos 2019, we turn first to Cate Kemp, who is Swift's head of the UK, Ireland and Nordics. So we're looking forward to Sibos 2019. It's in London this year, which is obviously very exciting. What can we expect from the event?
You're absolutely right, it's hugely exciting. This is the first time that Sibos is coming to London, and we're expecting over 8,000 delegates.
And is that a record?
Oh, it could be a record. We're rather hoping it might be, but I think it will be groundbreaking in other ways. So we've got over 200 exhibitors, we've got over 100 fintechs,
right.
And we know that we're going to have fantastic representation from that whole ecosystem. The fintechs are going to be truly embedded as part of the exhibition and conference. So I think for the first time we're going to really see collaboration right the way across that ecosystem.
Okay, all right, so you mentioned the exhibition, but with the conference, I mean, what sort of content are we looking at? I mean, the theme is Thriving in a Hyper-Connected World, so what does that mean in terms of what people will be talking about?
Absolutely. Well, I think it's going to be about bringing it all together, bringing it together across those key themes. So the client experience set in the context of open banking, set in the context of real time, looking at the convergence of speed with international and domestic payments becoming more real time. Doing that at the same time as leveraging all of the new and emerging technologies that are fit for purpose at the right place in the value chain for that client's experience. It's going to be very much about innovation, but doing innovation in a tie. In other words, making sure that we innovate safely and leverage the technologies that enhance the client experience to also stay ahead of the curve in terms of cyber and getting ahead.
Yeah, okay, so I was going to ask you about that because, I mean, you said, yeah, we've got to do it in a safe way. And obviously we're familiar with cybersecurity and the problem with cyber hacks. I mean, what sort of formats will that take in terms of the discussion?
I think there's going to be some quite lively discussions, and let's be clear that it's a very challenging balance when you want to innovate at pace and do that on the client agenda.
Because on the other hand, you're doing instant payments, right? So it means it's happening faster.
Absolutely.
And you have to try and secure it at the same time.
Absolutely, you're doing that, and the bad guys are using the same technology to try and beat everybody at their own game. And so therefore, you're balancing the client agenda, wanting to innovate, do it at pace, leveraging those technological capabilities. But I do think that the people that we're going to be having come to Sibos are exactly the right community to be able to solve for those things. A lot of the developments that we're starting to see are to really build that security in at the front end and throughout the process, and doing it in a way that's frictionless for customers.
Okay, now another big thing about this whole thing is data and use of data. So how much will there be a discussion around how banks and financial institutions can use data more effectively?
I think there's an ongoing discussion, and again it's wrapped up with the technologies and the emerging developments there. So I'm expecting a lot of people will be talking about artificial intelligence and how they can leverage that. People of course will be talking about the impact then on the people side, as we're seeing there's a lot of debate around artificial intelligence and how you manage talent and careers.
Right, because I mean it does threaten jobs, doesn't it?
I think people do perceive that it threatens jobs. I think there are other ways of looking at it. It's how you can leverage different skill sets across that ecosystem, both looking at how AI, going back to your earlier point around preventing and detecting social harm and back to cyber. So actually, in many ways, it's creating new jobs. And people talk about this being the next stage of evolution, and who knows where that's going to be. But part of the benefit of having Sibos and getting everybody together is so that we can discuss those topics. There aren't necessarily going to be easy solutions, and there will be challenges that we need to face into.
Kate, it's all about finding solutions. Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you very much.